Hey everybody, it's Safi and Marco Dish Out on Movies, the only movie review show on YouTube to review movies in terms of food. And it's just Marco here once again. I was it's funny because I shot a Peacemaker, aka Pissmaker. I shot a Peacemaker episode 1 review twice. The first one was like 20 something minutes. The second one was 20 minutes. But I just don't even like want to upload it though because I don't know, it's just like a gut feeling of not to upload because maybe I'll watch the other episodes as well, and I think that's what I'll do. I'll watch episodes 1 through 4, and then review those when episode 4 comes out. But yeah, I've shot that review twice because I just don't know what to say. There's so many bad things and then a couple of good things, and it's like this very weird feeling that I have. But anyways, I am here to do some old business technically, since I reviewed with Safi the Home Alone series in December, the whole fucking series. I can't believe it. I never would have thought I would watch every Home Alone movie, but actually it was pretty fun because none of them were really that bad. I mean, the fourth one was pretty bad. The new one was pretty bad, but not the third one was a cartoon. But other than that, like, it wasn't that bad. This is actually like a pretty decent series. Like, I would say, if you compare Home Alone to another series like Christmas Vacation, like, guys, have you ever seen Christmas Vacation 2? Don't. Let's just say that. It's an okay series. It's really not as bad as everyone makes it out to be. It's just that every movie after the first two aren't the first two. So I think that that's really the big issue, is that I don't think they'll ever be able to make in Hollywood. I don't think they'll ever be able to make a good sequel because they're just not good at making sequels. That they even admitted that in the new Scream movie. It's not a spoiler, but in the movie they basically talk about how they make excuses about how they need to plagiarize older movies, like let's say they made a Home Alone movie. They're like, oh, we have to have Macaulay Culkin, we have to plagiarize because we can't do any different ideas. And it's like, fuck off. Like, there are so many sequels from the 80s, the 70s, the 90s that were really, really good. Like, the Psycho sequels are fucking phenomenal. Psycho 2, 3, 4. Talk about greatest horror series of all time. Uh, but nowadays, they just won't do that anymore. Nowadays, they just make shitty sequels. Uh, but I will say that the Home Alone series is not that bad. So let's get started. There are 6 Home Alone movies, and I can't believe I watched the new one. And speaking of the new one, number 6 is Home Sweet Home Alone. This movie was a fucking disaster. It started off where I kind of liked the idea. I liked the idea how it was a reverse Home Alone, the way that the kid is actually the bad guy, and the two people who are just getting their fucking personal property back, they're the good guys. I really liked that idea. I thought that that was a great idea, but the movie was just so badly done. It was weird because they acted like you were still supposed to like the kid, and then they treated it like a reboot of Home Alone, and it was terrible. And I wanted to kill that kid. Like, I have never wanted to kill a fictional kid character as much as this piece of shit brat. I mean, they literally made him probably one of the most hateable movie characters of all time. Like, remember Alma from American Horror Story season 10? Well, they should really, like, be best friends and do, like, a buddy comedy, like a road trip movie or a buddy cop movie together, because they're literally, like, the same amount of evil. Like, he's just so fucking evil the way that he designs this death house and the traps. Like, oh god, it made me cringe. And there were so many people and that couldn't even finish the movie. Like, Safi didn't even finish it. And it's funny because at the end of the movie, they try to go back on everything that they did. Like, oh, oopsie, oopsie. Actually, the kid was good all along, and it was just a big Hallmark movie misunderstanding. And it's like, oh. Like, not only did you make this trash movie with this terrible kid main character, where, like, it's like a horror movie, the way that you have these two people who are going to get kicked out of their house, and you have this evil, disgusting kid who won't let them get their personal property back. That's the whole movie until the last 5 minutes. But not only did they make a terrible movie, but they didn't even have the balls to stick to that, because I don't know if I said it in the rant video that Safi made, because I never even made a review. Because one morning Safi watched it on accident, and she hated it so much that I didn't even, like, I was like, oh, okay, there's the review for that. I thought that was pretty funny. But I don't know if I said on the video, but I predicted, because it's a modern movie, Hollywood modern 2021 movie, what's going to happen? The kid's going to come to a realization, or they're going to justify the kid's actions and say, oh no, he was right all along. Like, oh no, poor kid, wah, wah, wah. And that's exactly what they fucking did. And then where was the doll all along? Oh, it was just in the poor people's house. Just somewhere random, and just, oh, fucking fuck this movie. Horrible, horrible. Oh. Number 5 is Home Alone 3. This movie is a cartoon. It is just a straight up cartoon. The only good thing about it is the main kid. He is probably the best kid of the whole Home Alone series. He is the most likable kid. He's the smartest kid, and he is just so. He's just such a. He's just such a cool character. The way that he outsmarts these bad guys, and he, I really liked his story in the movie, where he has to overcome all odds against, all his parents just keep abandoning him over and over, and he's got terrible siblings, and the cops won't believe him every time, and I really like how cool he was. But other than that, the movie was a cartoon. It literally could have been a animated movie, and I wouldn't have been able to tell the difference in terms of just the tone and everything about the movie. It's too goofy, and the whole plot about there's some sort of a microchip inside a car that they want, like, ugh, what a stupid mess. But still, he's a really cool character. So then number 4 is Home Alone 4, which Home Alone 4, it's not great. It's not terrible either. It's just, like, very, very, very mediocre. Okay? The traps in this movie are mediocre. There's hardly any traps at all, actually. There's like 3 or 4 in the whole movie. The villains are cartoony. The kid is so. Ugh. This is the second worst kid of the series. Like, I just wanted to punch him in the face the whole movie. Like, he was that annoying and that dumb and like a doofus. And then the whole story is basically this Hallmark movie story where it's just all about how the dad needs to get back together with the mom. And I just thought that that was the stupidest thing ever. Like, I did like the fact that they focused more on the family, which has been severely lacking in the series. But I didn't like how they did it. It was like a Hallmark movie, and I should know because Safi made me watch one years ago, like the second year we did the channel. Um, Number three is Home Alone 5 The Holiday Heist. This is actually a pretty damn good movie. It is also a Hallmark movie, kinda, but you know what? It actually makes sense that it's like that because you know why? It's a TV movie. So, that makes a lot more sense than Home Alone 4 being the way that it was. I think that this was actually a damn good Home Alone movie. It's fun, it's funny, it's creative. The main kid is annoying and but annoying in like a funny bad way. Like he has this obnoxious scream and it's hilarious. Malcolm McDowell is a really good actor in the movie. He's obviously really good. And then the twist that they do with Marley, where they make Marley into a gamer, was actually probably one of the best things in the series. Totally would recommend checking Home Alone 5 out. Number 2 is Home Alone 1. Now, this is the second ranking video I've done where I've actually put the first one at second place and then the second one at first place. And I'll explain. The first one is a classic for sure, but the family is terrible. And at least in the second one, the family isn't there as much, so you can't really think about how terrible people they are. You can't really think about how you just wish that all of them would get, like, dumped into the middle of the ocean or something. And the first one, they're there for a lot of the screen time as the movie begins. They're so annoying, and they're so shitty to Kevin, and I really don't like them. And I don't like how the movie makes no attempt to make you like them. And instead, they spend the whole movie telling Kevin about how he should have wanted his family to be with him on Christmas. And it's like, I don't know if that's, I don't know if that's right. Like, I guess it's fun. It's a good message, but they didn't put any effort into making you want the family to be with Kevin. Like, obviously, like, we're just audience members and, we're not going to care if this stupid family's with him or not. Like, he's better off without them. And it's just a classic movie. It's good, but it's just not as good as the second one, in my opinion. And that's why Home Alone 2 is number 1. Home Alone 2 literally improves on almost every single aspect of the first movie. The traps. I mean, you want to talk about the greatest thing of this series is the last 30 minutes of Home Alone 2, where it is just straight up Harry and Marv getting trapped and getting beaten up and tortured and punished. That whole segment is the best thing of the whole series. And it is so much better than the first one. And there's so many great payoffs to the first one. Like, where in the first one they crawl across on the rope to get to the treehouse. And then in the second one, it's a rope that's going down the building. And then he lights it on fire instead. Like, what a fantastic comedic payoff. And, I will say it's not as good of a movie as Home Alone 1. It is just a better, more entertaining experience to me. I mean, you got Tim Curry. He's the star of the movie. You got, the biggest issue with the movie I had was the Bird Lady. She is definitely the worst Marley character of the series. She is complete trash, and I really wasn't a fan of her character, which was unfortunate. And once again, they spent no time trying to make you like the family, which is a big, big issue. Like, I thought it would have been better if maybe Kevin had gotten trapped with a family member in New York. Like, maybe Buzz gets trapped with him, and then they're together for a while, and then Buzz acts like a jerk, and then Kevin like leaves from him, and then he's alone for the rest of the movie. Like, that would have been better for me, because it's just kind of ridiculous. It's been two whole movies and we still don't like Kevin's family, but still a fantastic, fun, funny, hilarious, comedic Christmas movie. I really regret I think when I did my Christmas movies list, I didn't put either Home Alone in it. I think that looking back, I should have put the second one on there, because it's actually really, really good. You just have to kind of ignore it, because the thing is that it does rip off the first one too much, to the point of where the whole time I was wishing, like, oh, I wish that they would expand on the original ideas, because there's so many original ideas in this movie, and they're a lot better than the plagiarizing that they do, like the self plagiarizing. Like, just imagine if Mary Shelley wrote a Frankenstein 2, and she spent most of the book just copying the first one. But then there would be all these little things, little stories in it that were really good, that were all new ideas. You know, that's what it's like. It is like shooting yourself in the foot. But actually, it's just so entertaining and so classic that I don't even care. So, anyways, that's my ranking of the Home Alone series. I think that it's a decent series. I would rewatch 1, 2, and 5, and then skip the rest. You know, don't watch 3, 4, and the new one. Ugh. Oh, God, you know they're going to make another one probably. Like, they don't care that people didn't like it, because they got to have their precious Disney Plus content. So anyways, please like this video, comment, and give me your ranking of the series. And then please subscribe to our channel so that you can see more videos like this in the future. Goodbye, everybody. See you soon.